How's it going, everyone? Christmas Eve, and a week from now, New Year's Eve, once again alone. However, there is a little bit of an interesting parody here, and that is I'm also feeling really liberated. Yes, I am liberated. How can I be alone and liberated at the same time? Well, go figure. I'm surrounded by no one. And you may be wondering, well, how is it I have such difficulty going out there making new friends? I mean, I'm into cycling, I do a lot of skiing, I hike, I do Spartan races, I work out, I'm going into a solid career field. I mean, people may be asking, how is it that you're just alone all the time? Well, I'm here to tell you that it has nothing to do with how many activities you do, how many hobbies you have, how many different sports you play or outdoor activities you do, or what your career field is, or whatever else you may do. When it comes to making friends, when it comes to dating, when it comes to getting into a relationship, none of that stuff matters. Because the only one thing that does matter is mastering the art of social interaction. That's all it comes down to. So let me give you an example. And I mean, this is just like, no, I'm not feeling too depressed right now. None of this. I mean, yeah, I still have my bouts here and there. I mean, it's something that I'm probably going to live the rest of my life with. You know, I just have to learn to cope with it. But as you can see, I'm feeling pretty liberated, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, I want to give you a little example. Okay, let's say you have an individual, and you could picture this individual being myself. Okay, he's into skiing. He likes to do a lot of outdoor activity. He goes to the gym. He's fairly smart, or let's just say we have I know, I'm trying to do this without having to do like a re-edit. Believe me, this is raw and unedited, so that's why you're seeing me slip up. So let's say you have person A and person B. We're going to start off with person A. Person A, stellar athlete, plays for the college football team. And he even manages to somehow get away for a few weekends and is known to be a stellar skier. Smart grade, like really smart, 4.0 average. Let's see what else. He's going into a really solid career field. And during the summer months, he's excellent at wakeboarding, does a lot of hiking. He's even kind of a daredevil. He'll free climb cliff faces. He's even into like wingsuit flying. What else is he into? He's into building cars. And he likes to go to car races. He likes to go to baseball games. And you're thinking, man, person A is a stud. However, he lacks serious social skills, and guess what? He has no friends. He is still single. And by the way, before I go any further, for any of you still wondering, and I turned 46 in just about 2 weeks, and yes, I will be a 46-year-old virgin. So for any of you wondering, yep, I'm still a virgin. Okay, so now back to person A. Yep, he does all this activity, super smart, going into a solid career field, but yet has no friends. He's a virgin, or she's a virgin. I mean, imagine this person's a male or female. And you know why that is? Because they haven't mastered enough of the art of social interaction. Now, person B, on the other hand, he just lounges all day long, doesn't really seem to have much of a life, seems to bum off other people, eating chips and dip, probably drinking about a 6-pack of beer a day, just kind of sipping away. He might do a couple of hard drugs here and there. Seems like you're pretty typical lowlife, not getting laid off from jobs here and there. This doesn't really seem to amount to anything. And you're thinking, what a lowlife, what a winner. Nah, but yet this guy or girl is mastered the art of social interaction. And guess what? One weekend, person A and person B go out to a football game, and they sit next to a random, let's just say this is 2021 or 2022, when things will hopefully get back to somewhat normal. So person A and person B are at a local football game. Let's just say they're watching the Seahawks game. Person B more than likely, may have just found his new tribe of friends, while person A is going to be walking home from the football game feeling all down, feeling all alone. What a drag. And see, that's what's really exciting about this career field that I'm going into, because it has nothing to do. And this is why I've been the degree program I'm starting on January 4th is super challenging. And I'm actually having to switch one of my math courses and take the harder math course in the springtime, because it basically covers calculus 1 through 4 in a 10-week period. Now, it doesn't cover every single bit about calculus in those 4 classes, but it's tailored towards data science. And when you're trying to go through Calc 1 to Calc 4, it's like going from first year to 5th year in like 3 minutes. It's like, never mind 2nd year, never mind 3rd year. I mean, you're going from 1st to 5th year. So I want to be a little bit more prepped for that. But I have the feeling this career field is going to shed light. It's going to help uncover the science to the art of social interaction, because that's what social interaction is. It's an art. And if you can master the art, you will have friends abound. You will be able to date with no problem. You can even find yourself a job pretty easily. I mean, when it all comes down to it, whether it's interviewing, dating, making new friends, interacting with your coworkers, making new relationships, it's all about knowing and being good at the art of social interaction. And believe me, I honestly feel there is a science to this art. Now, I could make several videos explaining like all the different variables involved, and I might save that for future videos. But for now, what I'm getting at is I'm feeling really liberated, because now I know it has nothing to do with how many times I ski a year or how fast I can go on a bike. All that doesn't matter. And so I'm pretty relaxed now, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time studying, because that's my #1 priority. Studying, getting the skills to get me a good job. That's priority #1. I'll be lucky if I get 10 days of skiing in the next 2 months, maybe next 3 months. Whereas typically I would get 25 to 30 days, and in a good year up to 40 or 50 days. So I'm looking at maybe 8 to 10 days, if that. And the other thing too, why am I feeling, the reason why I'm feeling so liberated, let me just kind of give you a little example here. I'm going to turn on my timer. And see, when I was focusing on my health and fitness degree, kinesiology, and exercise science, I was so set on thinking that the only way I'm going to succeed, get out of debt, make a lot of new friends, is I'm going to have to be a supreme athlete. I'm going to have to defy the odds for my age. I'm going to have to even go to great lengths as even defying the odds of competing in the Winter Olympic Games and downhill ski racing, thinking I've got to go to such odds and extraordinary feats to get myself a good career. But that's not the case. And so ever since deciding that I need to go into a different career field, and that's not to say that maybe one day in the far future I can combine exercise science with data science, but it will be in a technical aspect. I'm not going to be actually doing the strength and conditioning where I'm having to be the most flamboyant person, having that really projecting personality that just draws people towards it. I mean, yeah, you got to have some kind of personality to get yourself an awesome job. I mean, that's it without a doubt. But I mean, I'm talking you need a specific type of personality to succeed in sports and strength and conditioning, personal training, rehab, physical therapy. I mean, you just need that personality. And the thing is, a lot of these people that are successful in the health and fitness industry are prior athletes themselves. One of the biggest gyms in the city I live in, Bellingham, is owned by someone who pretty much competes in bodybuilding or powerlifting meets or whatnot, but he's known to be an athlete. And he owns one of the biggest gyms in Bellingham. And he graduated with a degree in kinesiology from the same university I graduated from. And yeah, he's making big bucks. And the co-owner is a fitness model. I think she competes in bodybuilding as well, probably making a lot of money. And it just goes to show that not only do you have to have a personality, but you've got to have a background in athletics, whether being a collegiate athlete, a professional athlete, or in the top 1%. I think in my best years, I may have cracked the top 15%, but that's not going to get you to big bucks. It's pretty much considered average. I mean, you're pretty much, you're going to have to get above the top 3% in the top 97th percentile, meaning top 3%, to kind of break out of that weekend warrior category. So here we go here. You're going to see me try to hold on to this kettlebell for as long as I can. Now, prior to initiating this career change, I was like thinking, grip strength, it is a measure of health, a measure of strength. I mean, if you've got poor grip strength, or if you've got poor grip endurance, I mean, that's just like, that's curtains for like your success. And so here I would be thinking 5, 6 years ago, I'd be like, I have to be able to hold this thing for at least 5 minutes, or I'm not going to make it in this health and fitness, or I'm not going to be able to make new friends. I've got to be able to hold it. I've got to be able to hold it to be a notable personal trainer. I've got to be able to hold this for at least 5 minutes. If I don't hold it, I'm just going to be a nothing. And that would be like when I'm skiing. I always felt like if someone did a backflip, or they did like a cork 720 or a cork 900 and landing switch, I'd be like, there's just no use. I'm just like, I'm not any good. And I would get discouraged. Or whenever I would see like some 11-year-old doing like on a YouTube video of like skiing Jackson Hole and like mocking out of chutes at like 60 miles an hour, backflipping off cliffs. I mean, doing stuff that I even couldn't do in my prime years of my 20s. I'm like thinking, how depressing. What am I doing with my life? And it just got really down on myself. It's like, oh, every time I was cycling and I would be being passed on the hill climb, I'm like, oh, I gotta go harder, I've gotta be fitter, or if I'm getting beat by people in a Spartan race, it was all about thinking I needed to be like in the top 10% just to even have any hope, and it would get discouraging. And here you see, I'm at a minute and a half, and I'm struggling to hold this kettlebell, and I'm losing my grip. 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh, I hate this. I gotta get more fit, or I'm never gonna get a good job, or I'm never gonna make any friends, or I'm gonna be a virgin the rest of my life. I can't hold on to this kettlebell much longer. And believe me, I'm not gonna make it 5 minutes. But 5 years ago, I would have been thinking, I have to hold this thing for at least 5 minutes, and probably, if you're gonna be any kind of recognizable athlete, you probably have to be able to hold it for at least 10 minutes. And my grip is starting to slip. I don't even know I can make 3 minutes. But now that I've kind of put that behind me, but I can't feel that liberation yet from this kettlebell. But this is just my mentality of when I was solely pursuing exercise science. It's like, this is not good. I'm not going to amount to anything. I've got to work harder. I've got to train harder. I've got to lift more weight. I've got to be faster. I've got to ski faster. I've got to learn better technique. And it just drains. It's just psychologically draining. It's like, I'm just going to be glad if I can just handle 3 minutes. But 3 minutes is probably average at best, maybe. But hey, that's better than only being able to hold it for like 15 or 10 seconds, I suppose, as long as I don't drop it in my foot. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not going to be able to hold this for 5 minutes. I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm just going to go for 3 minutes. Okay. I think I'm good there. Oh. Now that feeling right there. Oh, that is a feeling I'm feeling right now, knowing I'm going into a different career field aside from exercise science. And that right there is that feeling of liberation. That feeling of just like being free. You know, feeling that I've just liberated myself from that prison, from that prison inside my mind that I feel like I've got to be fit for my age. I've got to be a top-notch age group athlete. Oh, those days are over. Because now it's all a matter of just getting enough of the skills to ace an interview, get those skills, be confident when I do go into that interview, and know that I can help whatever company I end up working for meet their goals. Be able to get along with my coworkers. You know, you gotta have some life in you. I mean, that's just no one's gonna hire someone that's just like Debbie Downer all the time. I mean, you gotta have a base level of contentness. So, goal is to work on this degree program, still acquire more skills, go for a couple certifications here and there, continue to build on the skills I've built already, and really work on those interviewing skills to make myself presentable with more confidence, and just be known that getting myself a good solid job is going to build a foundation, and from there then I can start focusing on other areas of life. But just how liberating it is to know that no longer do I have to feel like I need to be one of the best athletes for my age group, because that's just, I mean, that's just, let's just face it, I probably don't have the genetics to even be like in the top 10% of my age group. I mean, that's just the reality. Now, I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, unbelievable things have happened, but right now, I need to just be focusing on reality, and the reality is that I need to really start prepping up for my math courses, and just kind of get my mind into kind of like study mode, that I'm going to be spending 6-8 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, learning these new skills, building on my acquired skills, and just really presenting myself so when I do get into that interview, I can ace it and finally get myself a good job, and then everything else will start falling into place. And I find that this career field, when I'm doing my programming, or when I'm doing like structured query language, or trying to figure out math problems, it may be a struggle at times. It can get frustrating, but it provides for a good amount of mental stimulation to kind of keep those dark thoughts at bay and focus on the future, focus on positive aspects about myself, and to kind of discard the negative. So, as I can say, yep, I may be alone on Christmas Eve, and I'll be coming back at you guys next week on New Year's Eve. Most likely, once again, I'll be alone, but that's just because I simply need to work on getting good at the art of social interaction. So I think I've covered everything for now. I know I just kind of want to make it a somewhat good blogging video on this Christmas Eve of 2020. So once again, I want to thank you all out there for supporting my channel and for watching this blog. Merry Christmas, everyone! And if by chance I don't get to making another video, happy 2021. But like I said, I'm going to try my hardest to make another video, but please don't hate me if I don't. But for now, let's just keep it up. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, however you want to see it as. And so with that being said, thank you for watching. Peace out.